We do know from semi-natural studies that they will cannibalize. That is the behavior. So in my laboratory, what we actually look for is the initiation of aggressive behavior, and
Mhm.
then we count that as pup-directed aggression.
Yeah. So one other thing that ties into this that's relevant to, the idea of stressors on the mother during and after the pregnancy, but also ties into differences in the male female behavior here is okay. So if there's no paternal care behavior, there's no daddy mouse who sticks around and, does stuff. She's going to be in the nest. She's got to get her own food throughout the entire pregnancy. So the pregnant females have to really go out every day and get food and forage and do all that stuff.
That's right.
Okay, so it's not like
Yes.
it's not like parakeets where the male is going to bring food to the female in the nest.
No, that's exactly right. And actually, I would argue that in cases where you do see fathering behavior, that behavior has likely evolved because of the need for extra help.
Right.
So oftentimes when you see in mammals, when you see fathering behavior, it really just looks exactly like maternal behavior. Dads are just doing it alongside of moms. And that's not the case when you look outside of mammals. So oftentimes in other species where paternal behavior is a natural part of the species, you will see dads engaged in behaviors that moms don't do. They have their sort of own repertoire of behaviors. But in rodents, absolutely, you start to see these behaviors, and we can these behaviors that really mimic maternal care. And we can even get these behaviors to occur in the laboratory. So as I mentioned in sort of the real mouse world, the real rat world, dad would never encounter mom again, probably after she delivers. But in laboratory conditions, if you just keep the pair together and you take mom out, dad will actually display pup retrieval. He will sort of crouch over the pups. He can't lactate, so he's not nursing, but he'll get into a similar sort of posture. So all of that can be induced.
And so when a mother gives birth and she's under particularly stressful conditions, I'll let you talk about which examples are the most illustrative, but I know one of the things that has been studied here that can disrupt or inhibit proper maternal care behavior is food scarcity. So the pups are born, she's got to eat because she's got to produce milk for the pups, but out in the wild, right? This is wild animals. Their food is scarce. She can't always get the food she needs. Sometimes food is so scarce that she's not going to be able to take care of those pups at all, or at least not all of them. When you're under a stress of that magnitude, like food scarcity, the mom has to go out in the world. She can't find food for whatever reason. How does that start to look in terms of how maternal care is disrupted?
Yeah, that's such a great question. I oftentimes have said about maternal care that it's incredibly robust, that moms are excellent mothers or they're not
Hmm.
mothering. And so really what I mean by that is under situations of immense stress, if there isn't enough food, the response will often be infanticide. So oftentimes and we sometimes see this in the laboratory. If, for example, there's chronic construction noises or things that are
Mm.
oftentimes unforeseen, you will see many litters sort of disappear. So if mom doesn't feel as though she is going to have the resources that she needs in order to produce a viable litter, this sort of most adaptive thing to do in that situation is to not spend resources and energy rearing the young. Lactation is a huge energy
Right,
expenditure. It's a
right.
ton of work to care for infants. So